Good morning, everyone. Scott Mabor here with your Medicare Missive from the pond for Wednesday, the 10th of September. Hope you're doing well. You may hear squirrels screeching in the background. I apologize. Let's see. Today I wanted to talk about long-term care needs. To reiterate, Medicare does not pay for long-term care. I have a text this morning, came in at about 6:50 this morning. This woman's parents are in an assisted living facility, and she is panicked because they moved the mother, who smokes, which is a problem, of course, into a memory care unit. And the problem is she keeps leaving the normal assisted living to try to find cigarettes or bum cigarettes or whatever she's doing. And they finally said, we can't keep an eye on her. We need to put her in memory care where the doors are locked. She freaked out, and this woman brought her mother home. Her father is still in assisted living and says, well, if mom is living with you, I want to live with you. So this is a problem, and it's a problem a lot of families face. And my number one suggestion, and this family does have assets, so they do have the means to pay for help, and I said, you need to get help. You cannot do this on your own. This is 24-hour care, potentially for two people. You will be sick so quick. You will be burnt out, sick. You won't be sleeping. You need to get help. Now, one, it's very expensive. Two, there's two of them. Three, it's in her home if she doesn't find a different facility. And they were in a very fancy facility. The mother had a terrible experience. There was somebody on the floor that was really causing issues. So she was not happy there. So she brought her home. I don't know that that was necessarily a good idea, but it is what it is. But this is a mess, and many of us will face it. My father was in a memory care unit. And the question is, how are you going to deal with this? Whether it's yourself or your parents, depending on your age, how are you dealing with it? Medicare is not paying for it. Medicaid will pay for it, but they cannot have any assets. So in Massachusetts, you can own a home, you can own a car. They will put a lien against your home. I am a big advocate for long-term care insurance in one form or another, whether it's a standalone policy, whether it's a hybrid policy. In Massachusetts, and this is the only state it applies in, if you have a small, standalone, traditional long-term care policy, your house cannot be attached by Medicaid. So, something to consider. You can also talk to an estate attorney, set up Medicaid trusts, find out what the requirements are in your state, and you basically move your assets, but there is a look-back period. So if you're 65 years old and you're doing this, you can't, in most cases, have care till you're 70 and expect the trust to hold up. If you need care at 68, the trust just gets invalidated and Medicaid takes the money. Here in Massachusetts, the community-based spouse, the one that's not in memory care or that's not in the facility, can keep $130,000. They can continue to live in the house, but again, there's a lien on the house. So when that person goes to sell the house or passes away, it doesn't go to the children, which is most people's intent. The state Medicaid gets paid back first, and could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. So depending on the value of the house, could be all or most of it, especially if there's an existing lien on it from a mortgage. These are things you have to consider. Have to. I can't emphasize this enough. There are so many of us that are going to deal with this that haven't planned for it. And whether that is you, your spouse, your parents, you are going to deal with long-term care one way or another. And I have a lot of people who say, oh, my kids will just take care of me. I hope you've discussed that with the kids and have a care plan, because if you have more than one kid, it always will fall on one of them, and there will be resentment because that person is essentially giving up their life to care for you, while the other spouses go on and just stop by and visit now and then. There's expense and time. The other thing is, I had somebody tell me not too long ago that her daughter would take care of her, except her daughter lives 2 states away and has young children. How realistic is that if this woman needs nearly full-time care, or care a few times a week even? She's going to drop the kids off at school, come and take care of her mom, and she has a job. Her son lives with her, or lives in the house in a separate unit, and she said, well, he could take care of me. He works full-time, and I said, are you comfortable with your son bathing you and helping you toilet? Ew, no. Well, then there you go. Your son's not an option either. So be realistic and don't assume that the kids are going to do it. 1, they may not want to. 2, you may not want them. And 3, it may just not be practical. So that leaves assistance, which is becoming more expensive as more people need it and as fewer caregivers are around, as many of them are immigrants. So an assisted living's $10,000, $12,000 a month. Round-the-clock home health care is more. A nursing home, skilled nursing, is even more. Memory care is more. So you need to plan for this. And if you have the assets, great. Do you want to spend the assets, or do you want to leverage them with an insurance policy? If you have no assets, great. Protect what you can and go on Medicaid. It's all the people in the middle who maybe have enough assets to pay $12,000 a month for a little bit, but that's going to just eat through your retirement savings. And planning helps. There are ways to address this. I'm happy to discuss it with you. You can discuss it with your financial planner. You can ask me questions about it. But there are ways to discuss that, to address this. And it is a problem because 60% of us 60% of the people over 65 will need some sort of assistance prior to, before they pass. So in the remainder of your life, if you're 65, you have a better than 60% chance of needing care. And that care could be full-time. It could be a couple times a week. It could be just somebody coming in, cleaning the house, getting some groceries, maybe making some meals and sticking them in the fridge. It's all levels of care. And sometimes care isn't permanent. It's you had a knee replaced or you had a hip replaced and you need care in the home for a period of time while you recover, and then you go off care. There's all levels, there's all types of care. I'm happy to help. I don't handle this directly, obviously, but I work with a lot of people in the senior market who provide care, consult on care, consult on assisted living facilities that can help you make decisions no matter where you are in the country. So happy to help, happy to be a resource. And then if you want to discuss long-term care insurance or, whether it's traditional or hybrid or other options, happy to discuss that as well. Have a great day, everyone. Enjoy, be well, stay safe, and thank you for watching.